Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York, where today, Liam McDougal, is he's pretty much just minding his own business. He's had a nice day, enjoyed the weather, whatever. Pretty much kept himself to himself. Pretty nondescript day when he turns a corner on his way home. Um, and is promptly shocked by two men, or more like four men, grabbing him, shoving a black bag over his head, and he feels himself being shoved in the back of what he can guess to be a van. Any reaction yet?
Sorry, I was having trouble unmuting. So he's basically like, did they tie him up or anything?
So far, you have
Or are
been
they like
grabbed by a
behold
load of
him?
men, had a black bag stuck over your head. Yeah, your hands. You've had cable ties wrapped around your between your wrapped around your hands.
Okay, well he'd be struggling, but not anything he'd be able to do to get out really. So he's struggling, but yelling, uh, trying to yell for help.
Shut the fuck up. We can talk later. Boss wants to see you, fucker. And if you keep yelling, fine. Give you a reason to yell. As the first bat smacks across your shoulder blades, followed quickly by one into your kidneys.
So he stops yelling and just basically tenses up. But he does stop yelling.
Okay. You got a fair beating with the bats. Probably breaks a couple of ribs. In fact, definitely breaks a couple of ribs. Not even actually saying anything at this point. They're literally just beating you with bats. Your hands incidentally are tied behind your back, not in front of you. You feel the van moving as you're driven for about 25 minutes. At which point you are grabbed by the scruff of the neck by by a couple of hands, hauled to your feet and pushed forwards.
So he's just starts walking, I guess.
Mm-hmm. You walk. Um, you get out of the van. You're led out of the van, sort of manhandled, really, and roughly directed through. You hear a door opening, um, and you can then smell a sort of damp in the air. The floor's hard beneath your feet, like concrete. It's very cold in here. Not like it's pretty hot in New York at the moment, height of summer after all. And you can hear muttering. You can't hear particularly well through the black hood over your head, nor can you see much, just vague shapes. And you are eventually directed and you are shoved down into a chair, tied into the chair. You feel the cable ties being cut off. You feel yourself a chain being wrapped around you, and then the bag is pulled off. And this guy is in front of you. Or rather, here's the first thing you see when the bag is pulled off. Is this gentleman. He looks extremely unhappy. And opposite you is your sister, Marie, heavily bruised, tied to a metal chair. When you look around, you can see you're in some kind of abandoned warehouse.
So as soon as he sees his sister, he starts struggling. What the fuck did you do to her? Who the fuck are you? What the fuck?
At which point, he shut the fuck up, you little cunt. Or at least, don't ask fucking questions. You're here for some fucking answers. I don't like little cunts. Take my fucking money and take my merchandise. So I'll ask civilly one fucking time. The money, the coke, where the fuck is it?
He just glares him down. I don't fucking know, alright?
You don't fucking know.
I told you already. It had nothing to do with it.
Didn't fucking ask you, bitch. You think I've not heard that before? And he punches you square in the face, breaking your nose.
Okay. He just rolls with the punch, and then he spits at the dude.
Oh well. If we're going to be fucking impolite like that. He reaches into his pocket and takes out a tin of cigars and a lighter. Puts the cigar in his mouth, lights it. It's helpful for calming people down, you see. And I have a problem that sometimes I've been accused of having a temper. He then reaches towards your mouth, forces your jaw open, and puts the cigar out on your tongue. The fumes choking the back of your throat before the searing burns you.
Okay.
You feel a shiver run down your spine. Something you've not really felt before, an energy, but it quickly fades. The hairs on all over your body, you feel them bristling, but no more than that.
So, okay, sorry.
And so once again, and he walks over to a table in the corner of the room. Money and the Columbia marching powder. Where the fuck are they?
So he just...
Oh, yes, you can speak. It hurts to speak. It hurts to open your mouth.
Right,
but yes,
so,
you can.
So he just goes, maybe look up your own ass. Maybe that's where we hit it.
A cocky cunt. I'm afraid. Well, I like cocky cunts, so I'm not going to hit you with this here hammer. How's that? Because I'm a nice man. And he walks over to Marie.
No.
And smacks her in the knee, and you hear a cracking sound.
Liam is like trying he like stand up, or do they have him like held down, or
You're
is
like
he struggling
you're
to
like
get there?
chained to the chair.
He is struggling, doing everything he can, screaming, get away from her, you fucking ass!
Shut the fuck up
Fucking
and give me the answers I want, you cuntshite. Your sister's got another fucking knee still.
Just, I don't fucking know. We told you. Got the wrong people.
Wrong fucking people. Is that the best you can fucking do? Smack crack.
He's yelling again. Just at this point, it's just more incoherent. Just anger, like yelling. Can't really form anything.
Yeah, between the yelling, there's a kind of your voice almost turns into an almost animalistic snarl at points. If Liam had the wherewithal of thought at this point, then he'd probably wonder where that came from. But I imagine self-reflection is not high on his agenda right now.
I had a character question.
Yep.
What kind of chair do they have me in?
It's a metal chair that it's pretty heavy. Sort of like almost like a garden chair or a lawn chair or something.
Let's see how many dots in subterfuge I have. So he stops yelling long enough. Don't.
Good. Now I don't have to cut your balls off as well. He heads over to you and crouches down so he's level with you. Smiles.
Liam's gonna throw his head into the dude's face. He's gonna pull his head back and slam his forehead into the dude's nose.
Fucker! At which point he pulls a butterfly knife out of his pocket. Lads, pull him wide. And two heavies come and pull Liam's legs apart as he starts crouching in with the knife, and they're like, wait, no. Clearly, boys, the lad's just hangry. Needs a meal to settle his stomach. Don't you think that's what he needs? Hold his eyes open. At which point he then walks over to Marie as these two big, burly, and fairly dim-looking men wrench Liam's eyes open. Clockwork Orange style.
Yeah, he's screaming by this point. He is just outright struggling, screaming.
Yep. And Patrick, get the thing. As he leans in close to Marie. I'm sorry, girl. You were very pretty, but your brother's pissed me the fuck off.
What
it's a
are you
shame
doing?
Mommy didn't teach him manners. I'd like to say this isn't going to hurt, but that would be a pile of bullshit. As the butterfly knife creeps towards Marie's face, and slowly, delicately cuts out her left eye.
No, Mary, get away from her. Get the fuck away from her. Get the fuck. No.
And he holds it in the palm of his hand, this bloodied, jellied eyeball. As another man comes in holding a portable angle grinder. Which he fires up and starts moving towards Liam with. And the mob boss moves over and shouts over the roar of the grinder. We're going to have a choice. Dinner. You'll have all your face taken away. And you'll leave your sister alone in this world. Or you can tell me where it is. As the angle grinder starts inching closer and closer to Liam's face, barely an inch and a half away from his eyes, and the eyeball held in front of his mouth.
He just... He glances towards his sister. Shit.
Don't talk. Choose. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Alright, I'll fucking tell you where it is.
Good lad. 4, 3, 2.
It's at our house. And I'm gonna roll... What is it? Manipulation subterfuge?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can I spend a willpower on this?
You may absolutely not.
God damn it. What diff?
Standard diff.
Okay. 2 successes.
Okay. At your house. And where might that be?
Give him the address because I didn't come up with an address.
If you're lying to me, boy, we're not going to give you a choice, you know. It'll be both. And he indicates to 2 men back of the room. You go. Shouldn't be more than 45 minutes. Guess we'll see if the lad's telling the truth then. Maybe there'll be people there. If there is anyone there, bring him back. Is there anyone else there, boy?
I don't know.
Live with anyone else? Your mum, your dad?
I live with our dad.
What's his name?
He's gritting his teeth at him.
What's his name? What the fuck is his name?
He just... James. He's
Right.
still
So-
glancing over at his sister out of character.
Boys, bring, there's nothing there. Bring James back with a smile on his face. Or, no, we'll do it with this lad's forehead. He seems to like hitting people with it. Go on. And so these lads and head off. This guy pulls out another cigar and lights it. There's going to be a bit of a break for, well, what's Marie doing in this time?
Marie looks like she is near passed out from the pain. She has one hand over the bleeding hole that is her eye socket.
No, she is tied. Well, she is tied up as well.
Oh right, she is just. Her head is slumped down, and it's lolling slightly from the side as if she has gone into a trance as the blood drips down her face and down her shirt and into her lap. Occasionally there's quiet sobbing sounds, but she barely seems conscious.
You see, I hope you apologize to your sister after this, because she's got one eye. He instantly isn't letting go of Marie's eye. In fact, yeah, he's just keeps holding on to it. In fact, he actually goes and gets a small cup and pops it in it, complete with a lot of the blood in his hand. Because a pretty girl like that, she's not going to be pretty ever again. And if you would have just told us this information, which I'm trusting you is true, and I imagine it is true, because otherwise some very unpleasant things are going to happen to you and to her. If you'd have just told us this at the beginning, then all this unpleasantness could have been avoided. And if Liam wants to do anything during this time.
I need to look. Shit. He's trying, like, he's looking over at Mary. He's just so sorry. So sorry. He's just kind of like babbling incoherently under his breath.
Okay. It's about, say 45 minutes to an hour when these two men come in holding Liam's father. Between them, nothing there, boss. You fucking cunt. Well, you knew what was going to happen. So first of all, he reaches into his pocket, pulls out a pair of razor blades, and puts them in his in James's mouth. Come on, lads. And James at this point is he was just babbling until the razor blades were put in his mouth. Leans over as he has him pulled towards Liam, and the boss hits James in the back of the head, smashing his head into Liam's. James promptly screams as the razor blades rip a Chelsea smile into his face.
Liam is sobbing by this point. He can't form coherent words. He just sob.
Open wide! As Liam's head is yanked back and his mouth is forced open. This guy goes and gets the cup and pours the contents, including obviously Maria's jelly-like soft eyeball, into Liam's mouth.
He coughs. He's just, at this point, trying to choke on the blood. He's consciously, yeah.
And they punch you in the throat, so you're forced to swallow. As the angle grinder is fired up. Now, as you swallow, the same feeling that you had before comes back ever stronger as the shiver runs down your spine. All of the hairs on your body begin to stand on end as the sickening metallic taste runs down, sort of fills your mouth, and the soft eyeball, slimy and liquid, rolls down your throat as Liam begins snarling. And he feels a strange sensation of like the world's greatest adrenaline rush, like he's never felt before. As the world takes on a somewhat reddish tinge, as the chains, he's vaguely aware of the chains holding him to the chair snapping, as the world also becomes somewhat smaller. He feels stronger, energetic, and oh, so angry. You stand free and roar, howl in your Krynos form. And this guy's in front of you. Frenzy, I choose to target. You control bite or claw. To a degree, this is largely going to be cinematic.
So the dude's right here.
Storyteller under control. You're more or less under storyteller control. But yeah, yep, that dude's right in front of you.
Okay, can I claw him into the angle grinder?
You do not have that degree of wherewithal.
Okay, I'm just going to claw him then.
Okay. With one swift blow, you bisect him from shoulder blade to hip, ripping his innards open for the world as he looks on in utter horror and shock. The next person in front of you is Marie.
Oh, God damn.
Liam? Oh, God.
As bite or claw?
Please, God, no. Please, no.
Bite or claw? As your jaws settle over her neck and rip out her jugular and windpipe with a swift tear. And she looks at you wide-eyed in her last brief second. We'll now move as in a red blur, you kill the 15 odd people in this building. For bursting out, or, well, before trying to figure out how to get out. You tear everything in this place apart. Before bursting out into a side alley. And staggering, you realize suddenly exhaustion hits you like a wall. And you collapse against a dumpster in the alleyway, feeling weak and drained. And cold and wet as it started to rain. As you become vaguely aware that you're naked, and the taste of human blood is in your mouth, you are no longer frenziing, you are back in homid form. Yep.
He's... What the fuck did I... What the... What? As he looks at his hands with his hands shaking.
You realize that the only person you bit was your sister. That blood, that taste in your mouth is your sister's life. Blood. Yeah.
He just starts puking. Like, just straight up starts puking.
Yep. Okay. Probably a while as he tries to retch up desperately the entire contents of his stomach. As in the sept, the Theurges have been told, the spirits have whispered of one joining their number. Not far from the sept. Lower East Side, near their old docks.
The Theurges are responding with enthusiasm.
So much enthusiasm. So enthusiastic.
And Maeve will be so happy that Pink is a Theurge. Oh my god. She does the look around and there she is, already ready. It's perfect. So perfect.
Ping is texting Aaron something along the lines of, "Lol, newbie." About how far away would it be by car?
Traffic this time of day, literally 10 minutes, if that. About
so
10 minutes.
Easy walking distance?
It's easy walking distance, yeah.
Maeve is going to dive into the cabin for the newbie bag. We have bags for everything now. She shrugs on a backpack.
Ping's gonna go jogging for Eric's truck.
Okay.
I'm assuming that they have a pretty good idea where they're going.
Yeah, you'll be
Okay.
told roughly where, by
Maeve, can you drive?
It's not a tractor, no.
Oh. I hate texting and driving.
Don't?
Okay. Fuck. So unless Maeve does something else, Ping is going to drive them to within a couple blocks of the place and start trying to find parking. Oh, good. Thank goodness. If there was just one more person here who could drive, that would be fantastic.
It would be fantastic. It's a shame we don't know
Somebody
anyone who
said-
can drive.
Somebody said drive.
Good man.
Put your face on. Let's do this.
I have no idea what's going on.
You're driving. You have been accosted by two Theurges who are like, we're going here. Maeve has on the newbie bag.
Okay, if you guys want to go ahead and like grab me and put me in front of a driver's seat and explain things.
Ping's going to hand him
First
the key and
change.
say, this is Eric's truck, don't fuck it up. Please.
I don't plan to fuck up Eric's truck. Why are we taking the truck?
First change.
She points to the newbie bag because unless it's dedicated.
Right, awesome. Lucas is going to go ahead and jump into whatever vehicle this happens to be.
Is there a
and
tarp in
take
there, May?
instructions.
Probably not because she's usually greeting people as they're coming in.
Okay, we gotta move, but I need a fucking tarp.
I'm sure there's a tarp that we can go ahead and grab from one of the keeper sheds, actually. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yep.
that's totally a thing we've got.
Then, yeah. Maeve
People
will take
dying right
off to
now.
grab it. Maeve runs full tilt for a fucking tarp, shoves it in the bag, runs back.
Ping is riding bitch right now. She's sitting in the seat between the driver and the passenger seat, trying to get a good idea of where there might be traffic cameras as they get up there.
Normally by the lights.
Like she's just making like a list for herself as they go.
Okay, cool. You find a place to stop. I mean, you can see a couple of traffic cams will be able to see, roughly near the warehouses, but there's a load of alleyways that won't be covered by them.
Okay, excellent.
And as you drive past one of them, if Jack and Maeve is in the passenger seat as well, you can look down the alleyway and you see a young man with dark hair, completely naked, with his hands covered in blood, on his knees, retching next to a dumpster.
Are we in a place where he can, like, pull over for a second or slow down long enough for
Yeah,
Maeve
you
to jump out of the side?
Yeah, you could pull into the alleyway. In fact,
Awesome. What the... okay. Looking at the two there, do you guys wanna... Oh, he's fresh. Oh, he's new. Oh, he's naked and bloody.
I said fresh!
Yeah, fresh, naked and bloody.
and the arrivals, please make me a perception alertness roll, please.
Difficulty
Oh,
will
it's gonna be
be
fun.
9.
Okay.
Jesus.
And it's all Liam can see right now when he's looking down at the pool of vomit.
Yeah, perception alertness 9. Rolling. Hey! 2 successes.
Sorry.
Oh wait, 9. 1 success.
Also
Okay.
one success.
What you all see is you swear in that pool of vomit something that looks like an eyeball.
Yep. If he even slows down long enough, Maeve's going out that passenger door.
Ping's gonna hit the flashers on the truck and point to the hood latch as she follows Maeve out.
Lucas is gonna go ahead and like stay with the car and keep his eyes on this situation, because oh dear lord, what has happened?
She winks at him as she closes the door, and she's like, if anybody comes up, act really entitled. There's a tow truck coming.
Of course.
And she goes jogging after Maeve.
Pew! Into the alley. Though, admittedly stopping within, as soon as he shows any signs of recognizing that they're there, she's going to slow down and come to a halt and hold her hands up in a, as disarming a fashion as she can manage.
He looks. Actually, should I roll a perception to see if he can notice them because he's so traumatized right now?
I figure it's a matter of like how small his personal bubble has gotten. Sooner or later, he's going to notice. You just tell me how close they get before he notices.
Ping has one hand in her purse, by the way.
You guys probably get a good, foot away before he just hears something. His head whips out. He just like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like falls backward and like skins away. No, gotta stay away. You don't understand. You gotta stay. No.
And
no.
Maeve will hold a hand out as though trying to calm a very upset animal and say, it's okay, we do know, just calm down.
Incidentally, if you look up, there is a large raven perched on the building.
Ooh, I'm gonna roll to notice that.
Mm-hmm.
I am not, because she is fully focused on him right now.
Yep.
Ping is not fully focused on him. Maeve's got this. She's focused on looking for cameras. So I'm gonna roll to notice the raven, and then I'm gonna roll to try and find cameras.
Okay.
There's to notice the raven.
Nice.
As you glance up at the raven, it's looking down and it seems to be really focusing, but when it sees that you look up at it, it just looks at the sky and the other roofs.
Do I need to roll
Raven
perception?
trying to be a raven.
I mean, you can just, actually, no, Ping's never met Edward and doesn't really know about
No,
him, so,
she has no idea this is a thing.
So she sees the most suspicious raven she's ever seen in her life.
yeah. In terms of cameras, there's none in this alleyway.
Okay. Excellent. Is there any sign where the blood might have come from? Like, did he leave a trail till he got to his knees?
Yeah, it's coming from a small metal. It's coming from a sort of metal door, a small metal door in the side of an old warehouse.
How's Maeve doing? Pink's taking a second to text some people.
Maeve is easing down a bit to get closer to his level, and is perhaps kind of distressingly calm, considering that she's all but kneeling in a pool of blood and vomit.
Do you wanna roll willpower just to see how composed you are?
Can I roll
icky.
to fake it?
Yeah, no, it's
Icky.
You're kneeling down in a pool of vomit. Yeah.
Not quite kneeling.
Roll will-
She's all but.
Yeah.
But
So
yes,
it's
fair enough.
willpower to keep the face on, keep the act up.
And of course not.
Oh, that's a botch.
Yeah, that's why I was hoping for
Maeve
something
throws
like
up.
subterfuge.
Maeve throws up.
Maeve looks down and probably realizes that really is an eyeball and promptly pukes.
Oh, that's so very calming and making the situation so much more stable.
So he's. She
Looks
vomits,
embarrassed.
He just is backing up even more. He's like starting to get to his feet as he's backing up.
Whoa, 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 you're naked. Don't go running out of alleys naked. Oh, God, that smells.
Hey,
She stands
buddy.
back up.
We're friends. We're not gonna hurt you, and you're not gonna hurt us. We're here to help.
What the fuck just happened? Was my fucking sister in there?
You're in
Fuck.
shock right now, so whatever's going on, we're gonna get you some water and a place to sit down before we explain. Is that cool?
My fucking sister. And
Is
my
she?
cat. You're fucking.
I'll go take care of that,
this
but
is-
you need to calm down and go with this lady.
He's not. Do you want me to roll willpower to see if he can start calming down, Duncan?
Yeah, go for it. Difficulty 8.
Okay. Let me find where my willpower is on my sheet.
They did better than me.
Okay. So when I believe it was Ping that said that he takes a moment, but his breathing slows down a bit. All right, I guess he's still breathing really heavily, but not the high speed hyperventilation sort.
Maeve is going to keep one hand kind of over her nose and mouth for a hot second to make sure that she has herself under control, and will shrug down the pack. Basically shrug it off of one shoulder so it's dangling from the other, and finally go to flick open the zipper and at least initially bring out a beach towel, of all things.
You want to
And-
get him sideways and take him home?
Offer it to him. You sure we shouldn't just put him in the truck?
Oh, I really don't want him to bleed all over Eric's truck.
Bleeding?
It's
Are you
borrowed.
bleeding?
I mean, he's
He's
covered.
covered in it.
Like, when she asks, are you bleeding, Ping gives her a look like, honey, semantics right now.
There was like that fleeting concern, though. Yeah, the pullback to reality. Yeah. Here, just take the bag then.
Okie-doke.
And Maeve will at least initially hand him the towel so that he can wipe some of that shit off and hopefully get some sort of anchor into normalcy.
What's your name,
And-
buddy?
Well, Liam.
Is there a bottle of water in the bag? Ping is now
Yeah.
looking.
There
Oh,
is,
yeah.
in fact. There's several.
She's going to pull out the bottle of water and roll. That lie's not going to work at all. She's going to pull out the water and hand it to him. Now we're going to make you think you're crazy, but then it'll be all better.
There's no response. Like, he doesn't respond to that. He just takes the offered water and starts chugging it. Like, yeah.
Meanwhile, the redhead is going to tug a little compact mirror out of her pocket and flick it open and move a little bit closer. Kind of tentatively. If he starts edging back, she'll hold back a bit.
He doesn't even notice.
All
Ping
the
is
better.
real reluctant to leave poor Maeve alone with this guy, but she's going to start sidling towards the door, keeping an eye on both of them to see if she can get an idea of what's inside that might need fixing.
When you open the door, what you can see is a number of men in suits and one woman not in a suit. Ripped apart, you recognize the distinct telltale signs that of a Krynos frenzy in confined space. You can also see the two chains, and what you can actually see is the girl's body, the head is hanging half loose, backwards, flopped fully back down her back, and she is tied to a chair. And you see the chair opposite with shattered chains around it. A claw hammer and angle grinder are also apparent.
Ping is going to mark the sign of the cross on her forehead, chest, shoulders. But she doesn't go in until Maeve has successfully stepped sideways.
And Maeve will be promising that things are going to stay crazy for a second, but then it'll get normal, and is going through the whole rigmarole of holding up the mirror, coaxing him to look into it, and telling him to do the thing.
Can you make me, Joey, can you make me a Gnosis roll, difficulty 8, please?
I believe he just BRB. Oh, there he goes.
Oh,
Nice.
Lost. So it takes a while. It takes several minutes. Of you staring into this mirror as you feel a tingle in the air around you. As you feel the mirror almost begin to come towards you and consume your whole being as you enter the mirror and come out the other side, not in a physical sense, but in a metaphysical sense. And you flow into the penumbra. Instead of the harsh and artificial lights that illuminate New York City by the late evening, normally this is just illuminated by a bright moonlight, perpetual twilight. You can see these buildings around you, and they are covered and surrounded in spider webs. And if you look up, you can see spiders crawling all over them. All over the buildings, all over the webs tying the buildings together. And when you turn and look at the nice red-headed woman who is helping you, she seems to be carved out of solid pearl right now.
Do I need to make a willpower roll not to pass out? Not to just, like, faint?
If you feel that's appropriate, then go for it.
Yeah, considering the day he just had and the fucking shit, like, this is not good for his brain. Ooh, no successes, no.
Okay. He swoons and hits the floor.
I'm not gonna lie, Maeve pops through promptly right after him, fully prepared to start the usual speech, and he swoons, and he collapses.
He turns around to see Maeve. That's when he collapses.
Yeah, he swoons, he collapses, and she just kind of looks down and blinks. Because, well, none of them have ever done that before.
Every first change is unique, like a special little bloody snowflake.
They are. It's just there has to be that token moment of, really? But she will respond to this by taking a moment to shift to Glabro and gathering him up as best she can.
As you start to pick him up, he returns to consciousness in a somewhat disorientated state.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's fair, Glabro, thankfully, but she is bigger now. So yeah, he's gonna wake up, and she's going to be bigger and burlier than he remembers. still probably recognizable, but definitely, you could swear she was a lot smaller. You could swear she was almost wavy, and now she looks like she works out.
I mean, yeah, like I was gonna say, Maeve, like, is pathetically puny normally.
His only response is,
Oh,
can you
you're
put me
awake.
down now?
Yeah, she'll kind of guide him to his. Sorry.
What the hell?
I've never had anyone pass out before. This is going to take a lot of explaining, but let me tell you the part that's important for the moment. These webs, in a way, they represent order. So what we need to do is you're going to walk with me, and we're going to walk like it's normal everyday New York. We're going to obey all the traffic signs, the lights, everything. And we're going to walk, and I'm going to take you someplace safe. And then I can explain everything and answer all your questions. But first I need to get you somewhere where you're safe.
He just nods. He seems to be like traumatized. Well, that's the best word to use. It's what he seems to be like right now.
I mean, I feel it's definitely the most appropriate term.
That's a pretty good use of the word. She'll smile as reassuringly as she can. She will have, by the by, been pinging the Den Father periodically with what at least she was able to perceive of the situation. She did not get a look inside the warehouse. But she will have her Alpha forewarned that she is on her way back with a very shaky fresh change. And she will begin leading him along. She will not comment on his renewed nudity because that towel didn't come with. And if at any point he stills, she will just very gently lay a hand on his shoulder and use that to ground him and try to continue to guide him along back towards the park.
Okay. And I think that is the best time to end our scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been a first change in Rage Across New York, and hopefully he will brush his teeth enough to get that taste out of his mouth.